So today we will be demoing a game of Battleship. This game was designed by John Marotti and Eric Tatum as a final project for our CS301 class. This project functions as a computer game, similar to the board game Battleship, where a user will play against a computer opponent. We are currently in the title screen of that program. We could continue to the main menu by clicking anywhere on the screen or pressing any key. So we have now entered the first menu screen. The text box describes how to navigate the screen using the arrow keys in the spacebar. So the first screen is the difficulty selection. There are three difficulties: easy, medium, and hard. These correspond to the amount of intelligence that the computer player will have, and basically on how the computer will choose its targets. In easy mode, the computer will target completely at random and fire at random places on your board. In the medium mode, the computer will still target at random, but once the computer has hit one of your boats, it will save that into its memory and start firing adjacent to that hit until it has sunk that boat. And in the hard mode, it will also remember hits similar to the medium mode, but it will also search your board more efficiently, utilizing a checkerboard pattern that will provide only one space gaps that no boat could fit in. As of now, medium and hard modes are not fully operational, so for this video we will be playing on the easy mode. The next menu screen has us choose the game type. So we can play a normal game of Battleship where each turn we will fire one shot at each other's screen, the player firing once at the computer and the computer firing once at the player. In Salvo, it's a little bit different. Each turn, the player will have multiple shots to take at the computer and the computer multiple shots at the opponent. These shots will be, the number of shots is determined by the number of boats that you still have in your possession. So in the beginning of the game, you will have 5 shots per turn, and as your boats begin to sink, that number of shots will decrease. As of now, Salvo is also not fully operational, therefore we will be playing in normal mode. So the first phase of the game is to set your board. The text box prompts the user on how to do this. You can set your boats by moving the silhouette of the boat that you see on the screen using the arrow keys. It is important to note that it is impossible to move outside of the grid because that would return an out-of-bounds error. In addition, you can flip the orientation of your boat using the spacebar. What this does is it moves the boat from either being vertically or horizontally spaced. It is also important to note that if I were to press the spacebar in a location that would cause flipping the boat to put the boat out of bounds, it would not do anything. So right now, as I'm pressing the spacebar, nothing would happen. However, if I were to move, then I can flip the boat. I'll press the Enter key to confirm that placement, and it will now let me set my next boat. So I will continue setting the board, my board. It is also important to note that if I were to hit Enter right now, it would not allow me to place this boat and it would reprompt me to place the same boat. That is because you cannot overlap boats, and the function checks for that. So now that I have completed placing my board, the computer will now generate its own random board. And now we can enter the turn sequence. For the turn sequence, since we are in normal mode, we will each take turns firing a single shot at each other's board. Here you can see you are on the computer's board and you have a target. You can move this target using the arrow keys, and you can use the Enter key to confirm firing at that designated target. Now that I have fired, the computer will now in response fire into my board. So here you can see my board, and you can see where the computer player has shot. And now it returns to my turn. This will continue to happen until all boats of one of the players have been sunk. Misses will occur in white, and hits will occur in red. I have a display open that allows me to see where the comm has placed its boats in order to allow this game to move faster. So this sequence continues until all boats have been sunk for either the player or the computer. So I will continue playing until that we have reached that, and then we will see the victory condition pop up, and we can then exit the game. Now I am prepared to finish the game. This shot will sink the computer player's last boat, so you'll now be able to see how the game ends. Upon my last fire, the computer will then have one last chance to complete the game, which is now impossible. With that last miss, the victory message appears, and as I exit out of that, the game then exits.